Page 16, lightly row. Now they're introducing you to the idea of melody and accompaniment. Finally, we're starting to get into some pieces that are going to make musical sense. A few observations I want to point out. First one, obviously, is this has words to it. That means you can sing to it if you want to. The key word there is you. You can sing. I ain't singing to that. But learn the notes, learn it first, and because singing just adds a little more complexity to everything. It's just, But if you like to sing, this can be a lot of fun. Melody is what it's all about. Melody is what's important. Melody controls. Melody is the king. Melody rules. It's all for the melody. Everything else there is there for accompaniment or to support the melody. It's so important, and people, they overlook that. They don't even think about it. The reason I'm saying that is because on a piano, you can control how loud or soft you're playing each note. Because the harder you hit it or the faster the note goes down, the louder the note's going to be. And you need to be able to learn to control louds and softs. And some people have a real problem with this. The point is the melody has to be played a little louder than everything else. If I play, go down to the third line down in lightly row, okay? If I play this third line and I just play it all whatever, a lot of people would play that way. It just ruins it. The melody needs to be heard, everything else has to be subdued. So it should be played so I can hear that right hand. That's where the melody is. And the left hand stays soft. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do over and over and over and over until you get it, I hope, to bring out the melody. That is, play the melody a little louder. And I've had feedback from people. They say, I can't do that. I can't play one hand louder than the other. And I say, please don't give up on it. It's important that you be able to do it. So practice. And it could be, melody can be in either hand. So you've got to be able to control how loud you play these notes. For instance, at the beginning of this piece, I have a G in the right hand, and I got the C chord in the left hand. I don't want to play them all the same. I want to play the G where I want it. I want to hear the G, and I want to play the chord softly. So I have to practice that and think about it. Left hand soft, right hand a little louder, until you can control that. Just take your time with it, you'll get it. The other notes aren't hard because the left hand isn't playing any more notes, it's holding it down, so you get it. And then the next measure, again, practice getting the melody note louder than the other. I'd have to work on that. Until eventually you can put it all together. It will come. It just takes some time. Some people get it quicker than others. And that's the idea that I want to get around. We're getting, normally in a beginner's book we wouldn't get into this sort of thing till much later in the book. As I said before, this book progresses very quickly and you've got to keep up. Now they're telling you at the beginning of this, in between the staves, melody, they're telling you where the melody is. It's not part of the music. Normally music doesn't tell you where the melody is, you have to figure it out. Or in these videos, I usually tell you where the melody is. I say melody's in the right hand. That's all you need to know. Sometimes the melody will switch around, and I'll try and explain that when it happens. Underneath the bottom staff there at the beginning, they have solid chords there. That, again, is not part of the music. That's just a note the author has stuck in there to remind you you're playing solid chords for the first two lines, and then on the third line they got broken chords. Remember those two measures, those notes? G7 chord, and then the last two measures, that's a chord, it's a broken chord. They're just telling you that. That's just for your kicks and giggles so you can see what it is. I think I've explained everything about this. The only other symbol I really haven't explained so far, which I could have, and I didn't because I'm already throwing so much at you, is the symbol for the end of the piece. If you look at the end of all these pieces, most all of them, hopefully, you will see 2 bar lines again. Now, we've already talked about a double bar line. There isn't one in this piece, that's fine. This is another double bar line, except the second bar is thick. So you got a thin and a thick. And that is the symbol for the end of the piece. You'll see it. Let's look at music. Just look at, wherever, and you'll see that symbol. If it isn't there, well, remember there's exceptions, but for the most part, it's going to be there all the time. That's the only other symbol I can think of. Let's try this out together 4 times. I'll give us 4 counts. I will play it slowly. You have some phrasing in the right hand. You got some phrasing in the left hand. So let's practice that. Do it one hand at a time. If you're struggling to play it with me, you can play it one hand at a time for a while. But the idea is you learn to play it first, and then when you're ready, play it with me. And we're going to go slow, and then after you're pretty sure you got the notes and rhythms right, then you continue to work on it and speed it up to how fast you want to sing it, if you were going to sing it. Hands. Well, look at the finger numbers. You're in C position. I'm too lazy to go through that again. Watch the previous videos where I explain how to figure out where the hands go. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.